The boy suddenly realized that the older brother who grew up together turned out to be a fake. Even the disability on the leg seems to be faked. To find out the truth, at night, after my brother goes to bed, he also pretended to be sleeping on the table. However, the older brother slowly came behind him, pick up the automatic lid on the table, keep pressing his eyes. It's about to get into his eyes. My brother has no intention of stopping. My eyes seem filled with hatred. Until the pencil lid finally falls off. There was no reaction when I saw my younger brother. He just left the room with peace of mind. My younger brother just opened his eyes and got up to follow him out. Brother came to the street and looked around to make sure there was no one around. Unexpectedly took a big step and completely became a normal person. He doesn't have any legs at all. My younger brother got into a taxi and followed along all the way. Follow your brother into a small alley. Two little thugs saw their brother. Obediently called the boss. And when he sees these two people's faces clearly, he's completely confused. These are clearly the two police officers who went to his house a few days ago. Just a few days ago. He saw it with his own eyes. My brother was taken away by a group of people at his doorstep. He tried his best but couldn't catch up with that car. I can only try to remember the license plate number. However, the next day the police arrived at home. But no matter what, we couldn't find the license plate information. Later, the police suspected that he had made a mistake. We can only control and wait in his home. But I never received the call from the kidnappers. However, on the 19th day, my brother returned on his own. Perhaps it was due to suffering too much. He completely lost his memory of this period of time. But his behavior has become increasingly bizarre. Not only do they often sneak out of the room in the middle of the night, even sometimes, a disabled left leg will suddenly become a right leg. What kind of person is my brother? Or rather, this is not my own brother at all. But at this moment, suddenly he was knocked unconscious by someone. The next day, he woke up on his desk again. But my brother slept soundly in bed. He hid in the restroom, trying to recall everything that happened last night. Faced with his questioning, my brother said it must have been his dream. However, he is certain that it is not a dream. The person in front of me must not be my own brother. He picked up an iron pipe and slowly went out, but suddenly knocked down by my brother. He questioned what had happened to his brother. His heart is upside.
샤프질, 네가 탔던 택시 널 뒤쫓던 그 남자들 전부 다 실제로 있었던 일이 아니라고.
내 기억들.
이상이 또. 약. 너 약 먹었어?
That's when my younger brother remembered taking his medicine yesterday. The pill fell under the table. He did not take any medicine. But when my brother leaves, he found out the pen refill that fell off the table is still there. That's not a dream. My younger brother immediately took everything he saw, told mom. Mom looked very nervous after listening. But at night, when he gets up and drinks water, I accidentally heard my mother on the phone. Is the younger brother confused? Is this mother also having a problem? However, at this moment, he accidentally made a noise. Mom seems to have noticed something. He quickly hid outside the door. That's why my mom didn't notice. However, the other end of the phone seems to ask mom to go upstairs and check. In haste, he quickly climbed back to the second floor through the pipeline from outside. Finally, before mom enters the room, returned to my own bed. Mom lifted the blanket and looked at the rain on his face. Show eerie smile. He sat up with a long sigh of relief when he heard the door close. At this moment, he realized that his mother had not left at all, standing by the bedside staring at him, the originally open window and the rain on his face. I already betrayed him. Mom gave a strange smile and turned around to go out. Call Dad immediately. And at this moment, my younger brother doesn't feel well, has already escaped from the rear window. He doesn't know what happened, but he must. We need to leave here first. But he just ran out of the house. I met my dad who came back in a hurry. Obviously, this dad is also fake. And at this moment, mom and the stranger, it has already appeared behind him. Without much thought, my younger brother pushed away my father and ran away. At the mother's command, the stranger immediately chased after him, traversed several blocks. In the end, he was still caught by the man. And at a critical moment, the man was knocked down by a passing motorcycle. He quickly took the opportunity to escape again. Finally, I met a patrol police car at an intersection. The man who catches up seems to have no chance. Then turn around and leave. This time he's finally safe. He followed the police back to the station, told the police about all his experiences. But when the police heard him say he was 20 years old, their faces were filled with disbelief. His words instantly caused everyone to burst into laughter. My younger brother looked up and saw that it was clearly written on the calendar. May 2017. He's completely confused. Get up and touch the calendar, looking at someone else holding a tablet he had never seen before, and the content from the TV news. Everything is so unfamiliar. He looked back at himself in the mirror. What I saw was a middle-aged uncle in his 40s and 50s. He touched his face. I can't believe my own eyes. Why do I always think I lived 20 years ago? What's going on with my own family? He carries all the doubts, returning to the home he just escaped from. Now perhaps only those so-called family members to tell him the truth. But he just entered the house. But I heard music coming from upstairs. He walked all the way to the second floor, a room that has been locked tightly at home. The door is actually open. He pushed the door into the room, a dummy model lying on the ground. The room was messy and full of blood. There is still a dagger beside the model. There is still a dummy on the other side of the room. The ground is also covered in blood. And just as he was confused, his brother suddenly walked in, following his parents behind him. My brother finally revealed his secret about him. 20 years ago in this room, a mother and daughter were brutally killed. Although at that time, has attracted high attention from the police and the public. But they never found the killer, until this case exceeds the retroactive period, eventually forgotten by everyone. Only the son of this family did not give up. When he grows up, he starts investigating himself. After 4 years of investigation, he finally found the killer. But he tried his best. But the killer never confessed. He never remembers killing people before. After multiple attempts, it was ultimately determined that the killer had lost his memory. And I don't want to kill someone who doesn't remember anything. We must find out the motive behind the killer's murder, or rather, his mastermind behind the scenes. So he consulted a hypnotist. Experts speculate that it should have been during that period. The killer encountered something that caused him extreme pain. His own subconscious, selective erasure of that painful memory. And if you want him to restore that memory, the only way, just to get him back to the time before the crime. In 1997, Sophie started giving the killer psychotropic drugs and hypnotized him, impersonating his brother himself. Hypnosis expert and a professional actor, responsible for impersonating his parents. But sister. They successfully brought their younger brother's consciousness back to 20 years ago, and the whole family moved into that year. The house where the murder occurred. They completely restored the scene of the crime back then. Finally, on a rainy night like the day of the crime. However, at this moment, an accident occurred. Brother was summoned by the police at the door for involvement in a crime. That's what my younger brother saw in his eyes. His brother was kidnapped. To avoid suspicion, brother asked his men to go home to investigate under the guise of a policeman, buying time for oneself. And he went through a series of twists and turns, and finally obtained the gem on the 19th day. The next step is to wait for the rainy day. Continue to complete the plan. However, during this period, my younger brother gradually became suspicious of him. First my brother, then my mother. Everyone exposed their flaws one after another until they completely collapsed in the end. So far, my brother has decided to give up the plan, prepare to kill him directly to avenge his family. However, my younger brother still doesn't believe he can kill anyone, believing everything was a conspiracy of my brother. Find the opportunity to open the car door and jump down. Brother immediately turned around and chased after him. However, during the chase, brother lost his sanity. Racing recklessly led to a car accident. He was trapped in the car and watched his younger brother leave. And the absent-minded younger brother just took a few steps, coincidentally hit and flew by a passing truck. Finally, he was sent to the hospital. Perhaps it was due to the impact. The memories of 20 years ago began to flash in his mind. Back then, their whole family drove out for a trip, but suddenly encountered a car accident. His parents died in a car accident. My brother also fell into a deep coma in the hospital. The organizing physician informed him that the surgery must be performed immediately. Missed timing may never wake up. However, the early treatment had already spent all the family's savings, so my younger brother started trying various ways to make money, but there was no result. He held on to the last glimmer of fantasy. I posted a help message online. As long as someone is willing to provide help, he's willing to do anything, even if it's selling one's own soul. But I didn't expect him to reply soon. The first thing the other party says is to ask him to give up his soul. Is this sentence serious? My younger brother doesn't understand why the other person is asking this question. And the other party's answer is very direct. Because you urgently need money. And I need your urgency. I want you to help me kill someone. If you're willing, just send me your home phone number. You must give me an answer before noon. After noon, he will never have a chance. He's completely confused. No matter what, I never thought of it. One day, I will kill myself. He sat by the computer reading all morning. Finally, I gritted my teeth and sent the phone number over. As a result, the phone call came quickly. Just gave him an address. On a pitch-black rainy night, he arrived at that address, followed the employer's instructions, found the key to the door in the pipeline. The employer has repeatedly warned that there are 3 mothers and children at home. Just solve the mother. Never harm the child. But when he opens the bedroom door, when I see my mother and son sleeping peacefully in bed, he found himself unable to take action at all. He ultimately decided to give up, but just as he was about to leave, the woman walked out of the room, mistakenly identified him as his own husband, and when he turns around, the woman saw the murder weapon in his hand, immediately screamed with fear. He also panicked immediately, apologized quickly and said that you were just momentarily confused. He will leave immediately. But at this moment, the daughter upstairs heard the noise and walked down, immediately screamed at the side in front of him. Now he's even more flustered, shouting to the girl not to scream. And the girl ran upstairs while shouting. In a panic, he quickly chased after him. The woman tried to stop and was pushed away by him. As a result, he rolled down the stairs and fainted directly. He turned and chased upstairs to the room. Oh. The girl slowly lost her movement. She realized that she might have killed someone. Hurry up and check it out. And the girl is no longer breathing. He was scared and burst into tears on the spot. And by this time, the woman who had awakened had already chased upstairs. Seeing his dead daughter, he screamed with pain. As a result, his screams stimulated him again, turning back and rushing towards the woman. In the end, the woman also died by his knife. He threw a dagger and hurriedly fled the room, but was stopped by a boy downstairs. It turned out that the son of this family couldn't find his mother. He tricked the boy back to bed to sleep. Mom will be back soon. But as he turned around and left, I saw a family photo on the wall. The male owner above is actually the attending doctor of his brother. He understood everything in an instant. Then the doctor received a call from his son. He told Dad, Mom and sister are lying on the ground covered in blood. The doctor panicked when he heard that his daughter had also died. And as soon as he turned around, his younger brother had already found him.
선생님,
왜 그러셨어요? 가족이잖아요. 애들 엄마 하나만 희생하면 길거리에 낳는 걸 막을 수 있었어.
Turns out all of this was a doctor's plan. The economic crisis left him with a huge foreign debt. In the end, he decided to kill his wife and cheat him to survive the crisis. But I didn't expect to accidentally kill my daughter. In the end, he blamed his younger brother for his daughter's death. Decided not to treat his brother anymore. Two almost insane people immediately got into a fight. However, the chaotic traditional Chinese medicine student accidentally fell down. Although my younger brother tried his best to pull him up, but in the end it didn't succeed. Everyone is dead. This unbearable pain, tormenting him all the time. Until he lost all his memories. My brother came to his ward. The plan ultimately failed. He decided to end it. Brother. But just as he was about to take action, my younger brother suddenly started apologizing to him, saying I'm sorry for the dead mother and daughter. My brother found out that he had regained his memory, immediately questioned him. Why did you kill your family back then? Was it instructed by someone? Was it at the instigation of a woman's husband? It turned out that not long ago, he found out that a month before the accident, a father who was already not wealthy, unexpectedly bought insurance policy for my mother. What he really wants to know now is it at the instigation of my father or not? Brother looked at the brother in front of him. If you tell him the truth, it will definitely bring him a lifetime of pain. My own mistakes are beyond remedy. He doesn't want to cause his brother any more pain, so he denied his speculation. However, but my brother already knew the truth from his eyes. Ha ha ha. Ha. He will forgive me. A few minutes later, my brother jumped off the roof, and the younger brother injected poison into his own body. This concludes the movie. This is a rare and wonderful film. The suspense is full and the reversal is continuous. The difference between good and evil in my younger brother's thoughts. Brother found the truth but lost the reason to live. The entire film is filled with contradictions and entanglements everywhere, but it's reasonable and reasonable. Suggest going to see the original film, more able to experience the emotional changes of each character, perceiving the cruelty of society and the fragility of human nature.